This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117, and you're watching Xbox Ultimate. Now, finish the fight. Chief out.
Hey everybody, what's up? This is Xbox Ultimate Podcast, and we are live here. It's Friday night. It's good to be back.
Is it Friday?
Here. It's Friday night, dude. It's
holy shit.
Y'all are all frozen on my Zoom.
Are we really?
You're frozen.
I can hear you.
It says my connection is unstable.
Oh.
That's just you, Caitlin.
Well, we can hear you fine. So
I think it's stabilized now.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, it's good to be back here. I don't know. Have we had Xbox Ultimate is it 2 weeks off or 1 week off?
Yeah, I think so. 2 weeks, I think.
Me too.
It's crazy because
Yeah.
I hate not having shows. And then, like, before this, I think we've missed like 1 or 2 episodes ever on this show. And this is our 80th now. So,
Yeah.
it's been weird having 2 weeks off in a row. But, you know, real life has been a thing. And not just for me, but like, I mean, a lot of us on the show that like just had crazy stuff going on these last few months that have just been like real life shit, you know, gets in the way a lot. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's been Psycho, 3-bit, you know, Lady, Pong, you know, it's just
Lupa.
everybody's got stuff going. Lupa today, it's got some.
My allergies have been so bad.
We don't care about your allergies, all right?
You know, it's either just like, you know, like career stuff or health stuff or family health, and I mean, it's just like been a
Just
crazy,
life.
just a crazy last 3 months for like so many of us here. But it always makes me like realize how like amazing it is to like have all of you guys like and you know be here and talk about games and stuff, because it's like always a good distraction, right? So
Right.
I appreciate everybody. Like Pong's, you know, he's gonna be here. He said he's running late for work as well. I got here just in the nick of time, but it's good to be here, and we can catch up and talk about games on Xbox and lots of fun stuff. I see you guys in the chat. Thank you for being here, nice and early. See some familiar names: Chris Jones, Mr. Joanna Dark, Rob C. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here. All right, guys. We have three of us here right now with me, and as first in my heart, as always, lovely wife Caitlin. Hey, baby.
Hi.
How's your day?
Hi.
How's your day going? Good?
It's
Yeah?
okay.
That's okay. His allergies are like
No, they seriously have been like really bad.
really bad. She
But
can't.
yeah, I've just been playing GTA pretty much.
Yeah.
And WWE.
Well, like GTA, everybody's like giving people shit for playing that GTA like remaster, but you're really enjoying it, right?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
What's the best about it? Like, is it smoother? Or is
The
it
graphics are better. It's more smooth. They added some new cars. Just everything looks so much better. If like you really just enjoy playing it, then I think it's worth it.
right?
More textures on the areolas.
Yes. So I first went to the Playboy Mansion to check that out, and I was like, it looks good. But yesterday I finally made it into the strip club to get a lap dance. Yeah, it's definitely
That was your
looks
first
good.
60 frames per second lap dance.
Yeah.
Did it feel smoother?
Well, I did do the thing where you can like touch,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it was pretty smooth.
Yeah, less stubble.
Less stubble.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you had
Wouldn't
fun.
it be more since it's HD now?
That's true. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
there are a little bit more like, I don't know, blemishes. I don't know what you would call it.
Blemishes, yeah. That's interesting. So yeah, that's the thing. You got it on sale though for like $20 off.
I don't know if it's still on sale.
Yeah, I think they said it ends June 13th or something.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you don't care about playing the story, you can just get the online part for $10.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
was
worth
actually
it.
impressed with it. But you've also been playing some WWE thanks to our good buddy Crazy Louie actually
Yes.
sent that as a gift to you, which is amazing. Shout out
Thank
to Louie.
you.
Thanks, bro. I super appreciate that. This is not necessary, but dude, 100% appreciated.
Oh, I was so excited.
Yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop, though. Seriously,
What?
I'm like, you playing WWE?
she's
I'm
like a
like,
huge like
Kaylin is playing wrestling.
Oh,
What?
yeah, I've been to like back in the day, I've been to like probably like 3 to 5 like live shows.
yeah, her dad like got on TV with like
I still need to
Lex
post that
Luger.
video. I always forget.
Yeah, like Lex Luger was like interacting with his dad, like they were like the whole match.
Is-
It was
Where's
crazy.
that?
Her dad, her dad. I was talking about Caitlin's brother. He was there too. But you could see like
Oh,
them as
shut
like
up.
little kids, you know, there and just like.
I was so embarrassed.
And like her dad is like ripping his shirt off and stuff, like, and it was crazy. But yeah, she's always been a Bret Hart fan. So,
Oh my gosh, love him.
but she made
Yeah,
a really
Bret
cool looking
Bret Hart.
character. Fancy, is it
I
called?
did.
It's called. She's called Fancy, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Throwing people in a sharpshooter.
That's right.
Yeah.
I used to like wrestling when I was young.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
a WCW
been-
guy back in the day.
Before NWO.
WWF.
Well, NWO was in the WCW. Like there was the NWO and there's like the Wolf Pack, right? Those were all
Yeah.
like in WCW. But yeah, by the way, how's it going, Psycho? Thanks for being here. As
Hey,
always, dude.
Yeah, man. It's been a crazy freaking week. It's getting hotter here in Florida. I'm like,
What's the
It was
temperature
nice.
there? Is it like 80s yet? Or
87 today for the high.
Mhm.
I think it's what is it now? 83 for the low. So I'm like, I was enjoying myself when it was like in the high 60s, low 70s at night. I was like, oh yeah, I can get you. It's like I know this won't last forever, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna take advantage of it. And it didn't last too long. It's like son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna get humid as fuck there, so I hope you're ready for that.
Ah, fuck. I hate. I mean, that's the reason
You're
I
just gonna
fucking
start
left the first place.
Sticking to everything.
Oh, I know. I lived here 10 years ago for 10 years.
Yeah.
It sucked. Hated
Um,
every moment.
I want to move to Florida.
You know you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No. Not until you experience the summer. Then you're
Have
like,
you experienced a Texas summer?
I mean,
it's-
Texas summers
good.
suck ass too. You know what I mean? So I don't
Mhm.
think it'd be as drastic going from like Texas to Florida. You know, like,
but
now
is it humid?
well, if you're closer like into Houston area, it's crazy humid. It gets pretty damn humid here as well. But it's also you have a mixture. You'll have like your 100% humidity days. Then you'll have your dry heat days, right? Whereas like Florida's like always humid.
Yeah, 24/7 at night too.
But it gets like the temperature here will get like to like 115, 110, and it's like even if it's 70% humidity, it sucks balls. The thing, and one of the differences too about Florida, if you live on the coast, you get like that breeze still. Sometimes here it's just like stagnant, dead ass air in the summer. You go outside and you just can't breathe. It feels like there's no
Yeah.
oxygen in the air whatsoever. And you sit in the car and you just like melt. Your seatbelt burns you. The car wants to kill you the second you sit in the car. So that's one of the things here. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you deal with that kind of stuff in Kentucky, man. But what's up, Jasper?
Yeah, we get all the weather. We get snow, heat, everything. It's just whatever the fucking earth decides to throw at us.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's in that like little like mid area,
Middle,
right?
yeah.
So, like, I mean, y'all are in Tornado Alley like we are still, right? So you get like tornadoes.
Well, I
there,
mean,
too?
that's more like Nebraska and Kansas, though.
Is that not the
Yeah.
same as Kentucky?
No.
No.
I'm just it's like they're all the same, right? It's like
Yeah.
Nebraska, Kentucky. What's the difference?
Yeah. Well, that's like lady saying
yeah.
Ohio's by Georgia.
Well, I mean, like it's not.
Are Nebraska and Kentucky even near each other?
No.
Fuck no.
No. Well, I mean, I think of Kentucky is kind of like on the edge of like the middle, like on that, right?
Bro.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know where I don't know where to place it because like some people say it's the South, some people say it's the Midwest, some people say it's the Northeast. It's just like who the hell knows?
And I think
We're
it
just
depends
there.
on what part of Kentucky you're in, because I've had the scariest hotel stay of my life in Kentucky.
Yeah, well, I mean, welcome to Kentucky.
But then there's like a great, but it's like beautiful. But I'll tell you, like going through Kentucky, one of the prettiest areas is when you're going out of. Wait, no, that's not Kentucky. No, yes, it is. When you're leaving. No, I'm sorry. The prettiest areas in Kentucky is actually when you're leaving Kentucky.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Because you don't want to be in the States.
Well, like right when you like, there's a highway there. I don't remember which one, but like right when you get over the highway, you cross over this hill, and then all of a sudden, like you're leaving Kentucky but entering Ohio, and
going to Cincinnati,
and you can see Cincinnati right there, and you can see the stadium.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like bam, it's like wow, that's really cool looking. That's a great view. You know, that's the only good part of that I've experienced from Kentucky is right when I'm leaving it. However, I'm sure there's other
Kentucky.
Yeah,
that's the Kentucky borderline.
Kentucky borderline. Shout out to Vic the Click with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. You're amazing. He says, "What's up, guys?" And one cool lady. I'm ready for another amazing episode. Well, appreciate you, dude, and thank you all for being here after 2 weeks away. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing.
Right.
What's up, Bomber? How's it going, dude? Tony Grasso. How are you? Splendiferous. What's up? Dr. Dinglenut. That's still that name. Blue Moon.
Trying to say I look high as fuck.
Her allergies making her high as fuck. Yeah, and I'm just gonna say, bear with me, guys. I haven't eaten anything all day because I've been out. If I'm eating my handy snacks right here, don't mind me. I got like a childhood like snack lunch right in front of me because it was an emergency. I walked in the door like 10 minutes ago, literally. Well, 20 minutes ago now, but walked in case like, you want some snacks? I'm like, yes. She gave me like some fucking animal crackers, some handy snacks, like 2-string cheeses. Then I got my chicks, dicks, and honeys here. Or as the proper term is chicks, ducks, and bunnies, sweet tarts. So I'm gonna be snacking as we go because I'm starving. But all right, guys, we have games to talk about.
Was there something that was revealed? Did they reveal something recently?
Going to Hogwarts? What?
What?
We're not gonna go right into that, are we?
Hogwarts? Yeah, like we're gonna go into Hogwarts. We're gonna go into.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I have no clue what Slacko's talking. What are you talking about, bro?
Tunic.
Oh,
Tunic.
Okay.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
I don't know what that is.
if you want to start with Tunic, have you played it yet?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
furry Zelda, as I call it.
Yeah.
The furry Zelda.
So is this
I mean,
good?
that was. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's not easy. It has some of those freaking characters. So it's like a light. I guess would you call it like roguelike or Souls?
It's like Dark Souls mixed with Zelda.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there you go. So it's some of those guys. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I was just been playing Elden Ring. Now I gotta be going through this shit again. I'm like, no, stop it. I mean, it's doing well. I mean, I think it got like an 87 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
So everybody's been waiting for the game, and so I've been playing here and there when I'm in between working.
Mhm.
So been enjoying it, and it's the thing that sucks is that you have to go and actually find your weapons. You don't start off with anything. You have to go find a stick, and then you have to find a sword, and then your shield, and so on and so forth. So it's like they give you weapons. So you have nothing. You start with nothing. You wake up from the beach, and then you make your way through the levels. It's not easy.
Sounds like Zelda.
Luckily, pretty much.
Sounds like
Furry Zelda.
Old school Zeldas.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's just not
The
really.
reason it's like Dark Souls is because you can rest it like the bonfires or whatever, and the enemies come back. But
Right.
Yeah, and the
So
hard.
is it like super? Like, is it super hard, like a Souls game, or is it like?
It's not that punishing. It's not punishing as like a Dark Souls or anything like that. But it's, I would say, like a Souls light. Some of the guy, like if you only have a stick, and some of the like when you go in the East Forest, some of those efforts are really hard because you have to get through the East Forest so you can get the sword. It's like, I need that sword. Come on. At least once you get the sword, you have it, even if you die. So that's where I was just trying to run through the level so I can get the sword, so I can cut down, because you can't cut down passages. There's certain passages you can't get to because they've got like bushes in the way. So you got to hack the bushes to reveal the passage, and so you can open up the game even more. So that and that's pretty much where I'm at. I have to get the shield so I can reflect these like little turrets that come on the ground. So I gotta find that. Try not to use guides right now, but I'm gonna have to break down and use some guides.
So would you consider it kind of like an RPG, or is it more just like an action game?
There's no real like stats that you can level up. Now, someone on Twitter actually posted that I think they're like these ceremonial flowers that you actually can give to the altars, which are like the bonfires Jasper was just saying, and actually increases your health. That's it. I haven't seen anyone try to use anything else. So
what about new abilities and stuff? You get new abilities along the way?
No, it's just roll and hack and slash.
Okay.
Is pretty much yeah, and then you can get like bombs you could throw at and stuff like that.
Sounds like Zelda.
Pretty much
like the old school
the furry Zelda.
Yeah, like the top down ones.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much the same thing, like top down.
No, I've been criticized in the past for not calling those RPGs, those old Zelda games.
I think that's just before we knew what the term RPG was, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember being like, I would really like a real Zelda RPG. I told somebody that they're like, what are you talking about? Zelda is RPG. I'm like, well, not. I mean, it is kind of, but in ways. But like, from what I think of as an RPG, it's like missing a lot of those like elements. You know, like skill progression of like applying stats and. You know, like
I mean, you get like heart pieces and stuff, but
yeah, you get. I mean, you get heart pieces to up your health. That's it. But you do that in action games all the time too, like just hack and slash action games, right?
Yeah, see, they're not modern RPGs, and that's what we're used to.
Right.
I never.
And in Breath of the Wild, you got stamina stuff, and
yeah, Breath of the Wild is a little bit more than most of the other ones, but. I've always considered them kind of like open action adventure games, right?
That's the feel you get. You get with, at least with this. It's Zelda esque, old school Zelda.
All right, so you can recommend one furry critter hero game. Is it going to be Tunic or Biomutant?
Oh, Tunic.
Sonic.
We need to get a new Sonic game first, Caitlin.
I think there was a leak for that, wasn't there? Like it was supposed to come out in September, that Sonic game.
Sonic Frontiers, really?
Yeah, I think there's a leak for that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of leaks lately.
It was like on the Steam page or something that leaked it. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, there's no hard evidence of the actual date, because there's stuff on there that came out like 6 months, almost a year later. So at least it's coming. That's one good thing. So they're probably waiting to release, announce a date, because you got possibly a September, October Hogwarts release date. Then you got but say Elden Ring. You got Starfield in November, possibly Forza Motorsports 8.
I don't think
And-
Sonic really cares about those, though. Sonic's just gonna do their own thing. They'll just be like, we put it
Yeah,
out.
but they probably
kinda
don't
what
want
they
to
do
put
with
it
Sonic
up
games,
against
Yeah.
something too big. So
Yeah, man. I want to say thank you to PlayStation for having an entire state of play dedicated to a game that I'm gonna be playing on Xbox this year.
right.
That was pretty awesome to get that big in-depth look. Now, I'm not, that's not a criticism. I'm actually saying like that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like I wouldn't mind if Xbox had their marketing, some of their marketing regs had a huge blowout on some of their third-party games as well. This is not the first time PlayStation's done that either, because they've had some of their timed exclusive ones, like Deathloop. They did that last year. But this one is like not a timed exclusive or anything. It's actually like day and date on all of them, and they spent a lot of time on this game. And I honestly, I didn't expect much from this game. I kind of expected it to be kind of like one of the reasons why Avalanche, I haven't really ever seen something that they have done that's like oh wow, this is like amazing, right? And when I found out they were developing, it's like, okay, cool, this is gonna be like a first big game for them. We'll see kind of how it is. And I thought it was gonna be kind of like in between license type old school game that's kind of trying to be bigger. But when I was watching that state of playback, the videos and stuff and everything that this game's gonna be, it seems pretty legit. Pretty good, pretty big game coming this holiday. I don't know if you're excited for it, Jasper. Like, is this no?
Well, I guess I'll bring out the Debbie Downer side of me today.
No, okay. Well, hey, let me hear it.
I'm not the biggest fan of Harry Potter, so like I'll just put that out there. So like
Yeah.
this isn't like targeted towards me, but like I'm interested in all like the magic shit or the
Right.
wizarding shit, and I just don't want to walk around to school and go to class in a game.
Yeah, I
don't
agree
know.
with you with that, right? Like Fire
Yeah.
Emblem Three Houses, I was super excited for that. Came out on the Switch, and then I realized I'm just at fucking school all the time.
Yeah,
And I didn't like that aspect of it. Right now, now, what are you going to be doing? Is it going to be like objectives and fun things to do, or are you going to be sitting there doing little dialogue shit the whole time?
Like they're like, make sure you mix the green frog with the roses to make a potion. Like I'm not doing that. Just let me go
No.
shoot something with my wand.
Right.
well, I mean, the thing with this game, we got it. It's not regular school; it's wizard school. All right, Jasper. So you're gonna learn potions.
Wizarding.
So, yes, the wizarding school of Hogwarts. You got potions. You got
Mm-hmm.
herbology, and all the stuff that helps towards your character build that you want. So it's different. I'm excited. I like Harry Potter. So I'm a fucking dork when it comes to that kind of stuff.
You have to do the potions and stuff.
You
To
don't
progress, you would probably have to go to class. So I'm assuming.
you don't have to do. You probably have to learn some potions and spells and things like that. But if you're not trying to, because you whatever you focus on, that your character build is going to be.
I'm
So
not
if
trying to
they-
focus on making potions and shit.
Yeah, but potions helps like increase your stamina or increase your attack. Things
That's
like
also
that,
just
your
one
defense.
class. There's also like plant class where you learn about plants. There's animal
Herbology.
class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you learn how to tame animals, so this way you can take and actually have them fight with you during battles. So there's a whole different aspect that you are going to go with with this game. So if you want like summons, let's use Elden Ring because that's popular. If you want summons, you're going to use like you want to go towards the beasts and things, so you can summon beasts. Potions, if you want to help add multipliers to your character, spells and herbology would probably be.
You want to
I'm
be like poison
assuming
ivy?
so you can grow things for the beasts. So there's different aspects. I forget they haven't the what they really didn't state everything. Because we don't know if we're gonna have Quidditch in the game yet, which
I think they said you can play Quidditch in the video, but I don't know if like what they meant by that. If you just go off to Quidditch, like I don't know if they meant it's just something you send your guy off to do it and you don't see it, or you actually get to partake. I don't know, but I don't remember seeing in it. But I do remember that they said that the first thing you're gonna do is go to your classes. And when they said that, I was like, oh shit, okay. But then when they started showing the other stuff, you know, like the whole goblin
the open world
thing and stuff,
part looked cool.
Yeah, the fighting, the combat
Yeah.
with the spells, you know.
Well, that seems a little. I don't know how like advanced that's going to be. Like, you're just going to like sit there in like a corner, like keep shooting him. Like, I don't know.
Incendiary blast or whatever this shit he says. And I'm sure the Harry Potter fans like really hating me right now. Elevato incendio. Yeah, like your character's doing that shit while he's like waving the wand. It all works. It all seems.
I
like
want to make my own
good.
spell called Die Bitch. Just say Die.
Yeah, and if you could name your spells, wow, that would be incredible. You know. But yeah, I mean the graphics look gorgeous too. I guess
it'd be really. I mean, also it would be cool because I think there's 2-player co-op. Is all they have. I know it's single player majority of the game, but there's 2-player co-op. So it's like you and a buddy playing Wizard's Chest, or are you and a buddy playing Quidditch together?
I thought it was single player.
Yeah, I thought it was only single player.
No, they announced. I thought they had 2-player co-op.
I don't think so.
I believe.
I think that's what everybody's criticizing.
I think they were just showing like a boy and a girl like character.
Well, there's 4 players. Now I thought I was hearing it was Boom this morning. It wasn't VJ.
Yeah, 5 hours ago, Hogwarts Legacy will not have multiplayer.
There's 4 like classes you can go down, like Dark Wizard, Ancient Wizard, and stuff like that. I think that might be.
Yeah, it does not have co-op.
Okay, maybe they. I forget who it was. If it was VJ or Fuzzy or someone that they.
Well, there was a rumor like that was spreading like yesterday, I think, about it. That spread around the internet, and then afterwards, it looks like everyone went to clarify. No, this is not true. It doesn't have multiplayer. I think the developers like squashed it.
There's 4 friends that goes to class with you. You got 4 friends in your dormitory or the lounge, whatever house you're placed. I mean, all that stuff. I mean, if you're big into Harry Potter, going to classes and all that is all the experience, and that stuff won't matter. But I'm gonna sit there and study my hardest potions. All right.
Yeah. What are you gonna go for Slytherin or Hufflepuff?
Nah,
or...
Hufflepuff, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's Hufflepuff all day long?
Kate
Sit back.
Kate is Slytherin all the way.
I got Gryffindor when I took that stupid Harry Potter quiz.
What's the 4th one?
Yeah.
Is there 4?
Ravenclaw.
What are they known for? Like, do they just like birds or some shit? Like,
they're
like the outcast or like.
No, they're the like very smart, intelligent group. House, I should say.
That's probably what I would get.
Like Hufflepuff is laid back, Bob Marley, listening, puffing type house, and then you got the jocks that are Gryffindor, and then you got the
Harry Potter's a jock.
I thought that the Gryffindor was more like the heroes or like the people that had like more
the good ambition type people.
Yeah,
that's what jocks are.
I need a link to that quiz.
Is that what jocks are?
I don't know.
Jocks were like athletes.
Yeah, they're heroes. That's why.
Okay, whatever. We'll go with that.
I don't know. Hey, people put athletes like they're heroes, so Let's go.
Yeah, like Deshaun Watson.
Going to the Cleveland Browns. What?
That's a lot to spend on an injury-prone quarterback. I'm just saying.
$230 million. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Has he?
We went from.
Has he had a year where he hasn't gotten hurt for half the season?
I don't know, but we don't care. It's better than Baker Mayfield.
Okay, we'll see. I'll just say this real quick. This is not a sports show. However, I'll just say that Baker Mayfield did take the Browns just a couple years ago to one of their best seasons in like over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And
then,
to quickly move on from that to somebody who's hurt every year almost.
It went to his head, and that son
Baker
of a bitch.
Mayfield's always been an egomaniac, even in college.
Oh, it got worse when we went to the second round of the playoffs.
Did you hear about him behind the Cheesecake Factory?
The what?
He got caught.
He like some like girl fan like messaged him, like DM'd him on Instagram.
Mhm.
And he made plans to meet up with her behind a fucking Cheesecake Factory.
In Westlake?
And she I think she
serviced him.
She serviced him, thank you, babe. And then he got her a piece of cheesecake and a t-shirt that said, I sucked Baker Mayfield's dick and all I got was a piece of cheesecake.
No, that's not.
I just made that part up.
Yeah, the second half it took a detour there, but anyway, that story was out there. It's like some real shit. It's a funny story. Anyway,
oh my God.
All right, so yeah, I'm hyped for it now because it looks like RPG, right? Like legitimate with lots of stuff to do, right? It kind of reminds me of Fable in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, going the element, how like the open, like Jasper saying, the open world in this is freaking crazy, man. Like it's not just Hogwarts, and it's not like just outside the bounds of the school. It's beyond that. It's past the Dark Forest, Hogsmeade. I mean, I don't know where it really ends because it kind of what the map they showed was freaking ginormous.
Yeah.
Ginormous.
For me, this game, if I'm going to play it, it just depends on when it comes out. If it's anywhere near Starfield, I'm not playing it. Yeah. So like they have to time the release date perfect to get me in this game.
That's the thing, too.
September.
Like, we were talking about that on the show last night. Like, with as massive as this game seems, and it says like holiday, right? Is when they announce the release date. Like, if God of War hits around holiday, Starfield is hitting on 11/11. Like,
why would they want to compete? You know.
I mean, that's a lot of big ass games right around one after another. Now we don't have a God of War release date yet, but
yeah, that might get delayed.
I still think it's coming 2022. But it could. Yeah. It could get delayed. I mean, they didn't have anything for the second half of last year. And
they did that with Horizon too.
Yeah, but like last year when they showed God of War, it did look like more of like the last God of War, and it didn't look like they were going for like crazy, like ambitious something crazy new. So I think it's like the timeline between launches would be like it's not. They don't need 10 years to make this one, right? And
it's DLC.
Well, it's not DLC. It's not DLC, but it is like a good sequel, right? But it does. What I'm saying is like if you take existing like tech that you built and then you kind of amp it up a little bit and then you make a new game out of it, it's quicker than having to build everything from the ground up, which we've seen like when they have to build new engines and all these things for a lot of these games. And I think that what we saw from the God of War when we saw the gameplay on it, it seemed like it was probably something that I could foresee actually releasing soon because the gameplay looked pretty polished and finished. What the slice that we got, right? So we'll see. I mean, and we got that quite a while back now. So I'm thinking that they could actually hit this holiday.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to hit it soon, then it's probably going to be ran on the same engine in pretty much whatever 2018 God of War was.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be on PlayStation 4, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so if they're just finishing up whatever they're doing. So if it hits a 2022 release date, then that'd be good for PlayStation guys. Because they got Hogwarts and then this. And then but I don't know. That's gonna be a congested freaking holiday season.
Well, so PlayStation
Right.
also has like Forspoken, which I think a lot of people have
Yeah.
lost hype on that. It's starting to.
Was that pushed back to the end of the holiday season as well?
It's like I think it's second half. next
October,
year.
August,
Yeah.
something like that.
I think it's
if
like
it
late summer,
releases-
early fall, probably something.
Yeah.
Like that.
If it's like in August, September, then they'd be fine. Because if God of War comes out October, maybe like a mid-October, that'd be good.
Yeah,
But
way better second half than they had last year, right? When they didn't have
Well, yeah.
anything at all really last
They-
year in the second half.
no, they had a 8-month span of nothing.
Which we're kind of going through that with Xbox now since Halo Infinite. There's really been no launches except for Tunic, right? Tunic was like an exclusive surprise that we just kind of got dropped into Game Pass. But
Yeah,
going
shadow
into
dropped.
the second half of this year, Xbox is going to be killing it because we got Redfall, Starfield, probably Forza Motorsport, Scorn.
Yep.
Probably Age of Empires 4
Age
console.
of Empires 4 on console. And that
Yeah.
could even be before the second half,
Yeah.
eventually.
Maybe
Um,
E3 after E3.
That, like the Marvel or DC game.
Oh, Gotham Knights. Yeah, that's
Gotham Knights,
multiple
yeah.
plat too. So everybody will be enjoying that. But that's also, we're talking about, that little window here. That's another massive game on October 25th. So October 25th is that. Starfield's 11/11. God of War Ragnarok, maybe holiday. So we're saying probably November. It makes most sense for that game, right? So what? Like when does
You also
Hogwarts
have like
a
Call
change?
of Duty coming out too.
Yeah, you'll have COD. What like, man,
Do
where
we
does
have a red
Hogwarts fit in?
release date?
Oh,
They
not
just
yet.
said late summer,
Yeah.
early fall, didn't they?
I'm thinking early September probably for
Okay.
Redfall. If I was to make a guess right now,
You think it's gonna get delayed?
possibly.
I would say that's probably the most likely one to get delayed out of everything.
But if it got delayed, would it be later this year or early 2023? Because
They
would
may
wanna
push it
release
back to early 2023 to have a game come out.
Yeah.
in
I think
the springtime.
if Forza Motorsport is going to come out this year, then they would be okay not to have Redfall hit this year, right? But like if Forza Motorsport isn't going to be this year, then that would only leave like Starfield as the big tentpole Xbox game for the entire 6 months, right? After E3.
Yeah.
I think they need at least 2, right? But 3 is what I'm hoping for. And now they could also have some surprises at E3, like Forza Horizon 5. We didn't know about it until E3, right?
There's also so many teams. Like you could have like a team like Obsidian where they just kind of surprise drop Grounded. It's like a smaller game they're working on. So maybe there's some other
that's-
smaller game that people are working on that they can just
Grounded
drop.
is also coming out this year too.
Well, I mean, it's already out pretty
Yeah.
much. It's
Well,
just 1.0.
The 1.0 final release is out. That opens up the entire backyard, everything that they've been working on, polished and ready to go for the public. I don't know if you guys played it since, but it's been really good.
It's something
Played
that
the
seems like
preview.
to grow every time I try it out.
Yeah.
It's not really like, I don't think people are gonna be like, oh, this is a completely new experience. It's gonna be like growing in with more stuff in it. But
It depends on when you played it. If you played it before they added the koi and the pond, then it's a drastic different game from the beginning.
One fish changed the game.
Well, they added the fish, they added mosquitoes, roly polies, they added
I've seen a lot of
other
things in there.
a lot of different insects, so
Yeah.
different armors, things like that. So you can build like bricks with mushrooms, so you can build castles, things like that. So they added different elements into the game since that.
So
Before the koi pond, it was very basic.
For me,
After the
Grounded
koi
is one of
pond.
those games that's like just launches and it's always going to add more over the
Yeah.
years. So there's not
Oh,
really a
yeah.
big difference between like 1.0 official release and then like
It's
6
kind of like
months after
Minecraft.
that, 6 months before that, right? Like Minecraft was in beta for years. Fortnite Battle Royale was in beta for a long time, and they kept evolving it. And like I feel like Grounded is kind of like one of those games. So like yeah, cool, it's like 1.0, but I don't like count that as like a huge like release for like
Yeah.
that that counts as like a new thing. I think that they need to have 2 or 3 big releases in that window, especially without having anything for the first 6 months, right? Because if you look at what PlayStation's released in the first 6 months, they've had a lot. And then if you
Yeah.
add in God of War Ragnarok at the tail end, then that's like a huge disparity gap between the amount of releases in 1 year compared to competition. And also, you got to think Ghostwire Tokyo is about to hit also. No, that's a Xbox Game Studio game, but still, it's exclusive for a year on PlayStation. That's another thing that's exclusive on there for at least a year. So with this like gap that they've had, now I'm not like worried about it or whatever, but it would really hurt if Redfall got delayed and they didn't have something like Forza Motorsport to put in there, or at least another
Yeah.
surprise at E3.
Well, yeah, because with Stalker 2, if it didn't get delayed, that would be coming out April.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Tunic already, some other little indie games here and there, but so it would have been like Tunic, Stalker would have been a nice little fit, and then summer for Redfall, if that doesn't get any delays, and then so it wouldn't have been a total eclipse of nothing being there with the Xbox titles. But now with that getting delayed and then everything that's going on overseas, we don't know what's going on with Stalker. Then Redfall all it says is summer of this year, so we'll find out more at E3.
Yeah.
The
The
unless
fact
they
that
have
they haven't
something.
already come out and said fall, that gives me some hope that it will hit this year, right? Because you would think at this point they would already kind of know it's not summer, right? It like that they need.
We've
to
also
release
seen
more
some
time.
beta images, like leaked beta images of the game,
Mhm.
so it might be farther along than
Yeah.
we think.
Right. So maybe like this at E3 they'll give it a release date. We'll actually see some gameplay and shit, and they'll say like September or October.
Mm.
Right.
Plague Tale, forgot about that.
Yeah.
The second Plague Tale
Is
game
that
coming.
is that exclusive though? That's multiplat.
No, it's multiplat.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of multiplats coming out.
Yeah, I
and
have
there's-
faith that if we're getting like Xbox first party games delayed, Phil Spencer will step in and be like, "Okay, here's some Game Pass money to some like third party devs."
That's for sure.
Well,
right.
Isn't Plague Tale in Game Pass, or was it
The
not?
first one is, I think.
I know the first one, but I thought
I think it is because wasn't it revealed at last year's E3?
everything that was in there.
Everything that was in there except for like what was it, 2 games, and one of those was Battlefield 2042, and the other one was like Diablo 4. Right. Those were the
Correct.
only 2 that weren't going to be. In
And
Game
now
Pass.
Diablo will be in Game Pass once they.
And now
buy the
Diablo
first-
4 will be in Game Pass. And also Battlefield 2042
Battlefield.
will be in Game Pass by that time anyway, also because of EA Play. So everything at the end of this, after all said and done, everything at E3 last year will be in Game Pass.
Something new. Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Let me get to the super chat from Mr. Joanna
Oh,
Dark.
we got-
Mr. Joanna Dark with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. You're amazing. He said, "Hello, everyone. Do you think Sony's doubling down of sequels and smaller games that are more of the same hurting them this generation? More variety?" So my thing is, no, I personally think that people are stoked for those names of Horizon and God of War. And at some point, they're going to move on from that. I think they're going to have to move on from that because right now they've been relying on that. But I think that them moving on from it in the future is different than we've seen from PlayStation in the past because we're going to get all those live service games that Jim Ryan was talking about, right? So it's going to be like kind of, I think, a culture shock for a lot of PlayStation fans out there about the kind of games that they're going to be investing in the future. And it's going to be less time spent on things like God of War and Horizon Forbidden West and these big single player action third person games. And you're going to start to see them pushing more of like the Destiny type games, like Bungie's new game eventually will be pushed heavily by them, even though it'll be multi-plat. And then also other live service games. So right now, in this cross-generational period, they're still making PS4 games, right? And they're relying on that for PS4 lineup that they know sells well, and that's what they help push people's like mindset into this generation of like, oh, you're going to get the next great God of War. Now, realistically, it's still using all the same God of War stuff that they developed for the last God of War, except just making it look a little bit better on PS5 and it'll be run better on PS5.
Same assets.
But same thing with, Horizon. It looks better, shinier, amazing game, put more work into it. It's definitely a step up, a huge step up, but it's not like it's something brand new and fresh, right? I think we're going to get that from them, but I think it's going to be different than people expect and anticipate. It's going to be maybe more in line with kind of what Xbox has been doing with their lineups. What's up, Pong? How's it going, dude?
Nothing. They've already got their first live service game. It's called Gran Turismo 7.
That's
Diggs.
Just saying, they're already getting them used to what it's going to look like. So
exactly.
It was
Hey,
an 87,
exactly.
so it's pretty good.
hey, bam! Thanks for the invite to Fun Pop. Great to see Caitlin joining the crew tonight as well.
Fun Pop.
Yeah, this is Fun Pop. Crew.
Yeah, we were talking a lot of Harry Potter.
Yeah, then we even got some sports talk going on. What's going on? Are we changing the channel? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
No, I mean we can't not talk about the $230 million sign of Deshaun Watson. To the
That's
Browns.
a waste of $230 million because he's going to be hurt in the middle of the season, just like he is every season, and then not available for the playoffs. And it's like, what's going on?
You're upset 'cause we
Oh,
got,
he's not going to be able to stay away from
Amari
the massage
Cooper.
parlors. He'll be done. He'll be suspended. Don't worry.
He's not the Patriots coach, is he? Or the
No,
Patriots owner or whatever.
Oh yeah, was it Robert Kraft?
He has a foot fetish, didn't he?
No,
He went
that-
to
that's
Florida
that's
massage parlor.
that was Rex Ryan that had the foot fetish.
That's right.
Good old Rexy.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was something.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I mean, his wife
enough
was in it
sports talk.
too. Like, I mean, they were both in. They were both in.
Yeah, they were kinky. Yeah, they were all at the kink.
He didn't
So-
even like deny it. He's like, yeah, I like feet.
Yep. Oh, Rex was a character.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah. So what's
Anyway,
going on?
What's up, man? How's it going, dude?
Nothing much. It's going good, man. Going good. Good to be here. Good to see everybody chat. You're all looking amazing. I was watching the chat while I was driving in between. So
That sounds
good to see
dangerous.
everybody. Here it is.
Red lights.
I wasn't doing it while I was driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red lights. Yeah, I get you. I do the same thing. I
Yep.
told Kate I was watching the Hogwarts State of Play when I was headed home today. Yeah. Not
That's
while
what you
I'm
do.
driving.
Just kind of set it. Just
Yeah.
kind of set it up. Yeah, you can kind of listen to it and look down every once in a while.
Put your phone on the little thing right there, and then when you stop, okay.
Look, not everybody's a multitasker, but I am a multitasker. Okay, so everything's good.
Anyway,
Should we get Pong's
Putts,
Potts?
putts.
I said
Hey,
Potts.
Mrs. Potts.
I said Potts because
Potts?
I had something on my brain right
Yeah,
now.
you
Harry
got-
Potts,
I'm like,
Pong
oh,
Potts.
I have
I
got a
think
little
you always
goober
got
over
pot on your
here.
brain, bro.
Well, I got a goober waiting for me after the
Uh,
podcast. I decided not to smoke tonight, so I was like, I'll wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
don't
get-
know. Are you for sure about that, Psycho? I heard you talking about Harry Potter being, multiplayer, and I was like, is he tripping or
No,
what?
I thought because when I was listening to Boom this morning, I thought it was VJ or Zemi. It might have been Zemi. He
Don't
was
blame
talking
other
about-
people.
I think it was Zemi. He was talking about it being 2-player co-op. That's what I
Sure,
thought.
sure.
I was like,
Okay.
sure. I didn't look into it.
Of course not. Why would you do that,
Obvious.
podcaster?
I
Why
was
would you do
fucking.
research? Why would you do research?
Hey, I do my best work without you doing a heavy research. I've noticed.
So does everybody on Twitter. You just read the headline and roll with it.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
That's 100%. That's what most of Twitter is. By the way, this
Yep.
episode of Xbox Ultimate is brought to you by Big Red. No, it's not, but I still like it. Anyway,
Big Red and Sweet Tarts.
Yeah, I think Matt's trying to get
Yeah,
sponsors.
see, I knew it. I heard you sucking on them before. Pause.
This episode of Xbox Ultimate is brought to you by Chicks, Dicks, and Bunnies. I mean,
No, it's chicks, dicks, and honeys.
Chicks, Dicks, and Honeys,
Oh,
or
Jesus.
Chicks, Ducks, and Bunnies, as actually it's called. This is an Easter tradition in my household.
Not for me. For you.
No.
Those are disgusting.
Oh, they're so good. I did have some handy snacks, some string cheese,
Yeah, did you
and some
finish
animal
those?
crackers. I did.
I'm
were
so
great.
shocked that like nobody knows what the fuck candy snacks are.
I just put the trash in a bag, so I can't really.
Candy
Like-
what?
Where are the 90s kids at?
What? The
I'm a
candy
90s
what?
kid.
Yeah,
I mean, like
The
you were like a kid.
you're like
you were like-
1997 or some shit, right? 1996.
6.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah.
halfway
Doesn't
almost.
count. You were 4 years old. Like you know shit when it hit 2000. You're a millennial.
I remember
Technically, I'm
smoking
a millennial too.
candy
Yeah.
cigarettes when I was fucking 4.
I
Oh,
had
yeah.
those.
I had
Absolutely.
those.
Of course.
I felt so fucking cool.
No, when
Yeah,
I
but-
was 4, I just wound up paper, like toilet paper, and I made it look like a cigarette, and I lit it.
Good idea. Good idea.
After
Uh.
candy cigarettes, I moved on to I would take my mom's like old, like the Marlboro cigarette
Oh.
packs. I would take her empty ones, and then I would go in the pantry and break pieces of spaghetti in half. And I would fill the box, and then I would light the end of the spaghetti
That's
when
why
I
you-
wanted to.
What?
is that why you love
What
pasta
the
so much
fuck?
to this day?
Yeah, maybe that's why I love pasta so much.
Yeah, you're addicted
Shit.
Kate was smoking pasta.
We were
yo.
And I
snorting
snort-
pixie
I
sticks in
snorted
school.
Smarties,
to
too.
Pixie stick snorting. Yeah, that's
Yep,
the thing.
snort- Pixie
I had
sticks, yep.
people do that.
I
in my
did.
school.
I did Smarties. I crushed that shit myself. Moving around with a little credit card.
We were all watching
See-
Miami Vice back then, so we all knew how to do coke.
You could
Right.
smoke
Right.
Smarties, the ones that come in like little plastic rolls.
I
that you,
watched
like,
my uncle, so you know. Oh, sorry, uncle.
So yeah, what were you gonna ask Pong? I mean Potts.
I was gonna ask Pong what his thoughts were about Hogwarts.
Oh,
what he saw.
Hogwarts? Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved what I
Since we
saw.
already talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Mav and I talked about it last night. And I really loved what I saw. So the open world, it's much bigger than I thought it was going to be, right? So Mav and I talked about this last
Yeah.
night, that and I had asked Mav what because he hadn't watched it last night. And so I just asked him when he saw the early stuff, what the kind of impressions were, to try to see if it was kind of similar to mine. And it was. I thought it was going to be a lot more like Bully, as we said last night, more really based in the school, and that's pretty much was going to be what you were going to be doing. But that whole open world, when they showed all the extra stuff, and they talked about the dungeons, and they talked about the loot, they talked about all the different classes, they talked about the skills, and they showed off all that stuff. That's when I was like, okay, even though I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, obviously I've watched them, I've read the books, and I think it's a cool series. I'm just more of a Lord of the Rings guy than I am a Harry Potter person. But at the end of the day, that game is going to be a sweet open world action RPG. And I can't wait to go explore. When they start talking about how big the castle was, and they've got secret passages hidden that you're going to have to find, and all sorts of that kind of stuff. Man, hell yeah. I'm all about that. That sounds cool. So yeah, I'm definitely hyped. Like I said, it depends how much Starfield is dominating my life, whether or not I pick it up day one, but it'll definitely be something I do grab for sure. So
Oh yeah. It depends on like Jasper was saying, depends on when it's released. If it's too close to Starfield, I'm gonna wait for a sale on Hogwarts. But
Good.
if it's earlier than that, if it's like a month or two, might have to pick it up.
And
dive in.
WB games, a lot like Ubisoft games, they go on sale fairly quickly on deep discounts, which is always nice. So definitely might be something I hold off for. But no, I was very impressed by what I saw. I couldn't, like I said, it wound up being a lot bigger than I thought, with a lot more to it than I ever thought that they would put into it. So
oh yeah,
be able to delve into the dark side, the dark magic, and that kind of
Killing
stuff
those
if you want to.
younglings.
Yeah, like killing younglings. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I vote against killing younglings, by the way. All that kind of stuff appeals to me. So
no, it's insane. Like it's just opening up the castle to different areas that we have not seen in either in the movies or I think really read in the book. So there's going to be unexplored areas of the castle.
And they got that
So,
whole
I mean-
base building section too. Did you notice
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool too. We're gonna be able to set up your whole kind of room with all different kind of whether it's the plant, the herbal stuff or the potions. You're gonna kind of do all that. That's cool.
Mhm.
They also had that like house you walk inside that room where you can build like a little farm at land out like
Yeah.
kind of like the TARDIS where it's bigger on the inside or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the suitcase of what is it, salamander.
And then
For,
thanks to Psycho, we can play multiplayer now. So that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna invite you guys in. It's gonna be sweet.
exactly. I'll make it.
Breaking news. Psychonauts. So yeah, no, that was my impressions. Great state of play. So I thought
Yeah.
they did a nice job presenting it. For all the Harry Potter fans have been waiting for a long time to see more than we had and kind of see what the game was actually about. Did a great job. I was impressed. For sure.
Nice, man. Yeah, I just caught it. It's pretty impressive. But like Jasper was like, I don't know how much schooling we're gonna have to do, and that could get annoying. I will see. Right.
Don't worry, Mav. You'll be able to, you can be a flunky. You can just flunk out.
I
Go
just
learn
don't
on
like
your own.
I just don't. I get really.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
I get impatient.
We've had this
with
conversation.
all the menus and shit. Like like all the dialogue stuff. Like early, especially if it's early on.
Right.
It doesn't bother me if it's spread out. Like but like if I'm attacked by like an hour of dialogue and menus at the beginning of a game, like fuck, it's like no, can't do it.
I can't believe you ever played JRPGs.
I know, dude. It's so weird. I don't know how they like clicked with me, right? It's like, especially like the tactics ones,
Right.
But I feel like
because that's all it is in the beginning.
But I feel like those like they forced me to think and make like decisions that I knew were gonna have a big impact, as opposed to like there's just like getting through shit. You know what I mean? Okay, I got to get past this stuff so I can actually play the damn game. Maybe it'll be that way with Hogwarts. I'm hoping so. It looks incredible. It's definitely like on my like must play list now, right?
Yeah,
like you said last night. After I see it, it would be there, and it for sure is.
I just don't like when games force me to slow down. Like, I just want to go kill the boss, get back, and turn in the quest. Like, don't.
You
slow me
just
down.
want Elden Ring 24/7. That's all you
Right.
want,
Yeah.
Jasper.
I don't know.
But you've already like mastered Elden Ring. Now, when they
Yeah.
did that update, I heard that they added some content to it. Was that a thing? Or?
I think they added a way where you can like track quests or something. I haven't played since the update.
Yeah, you can
But
mark
also-
where you meet NPCs now,
Yeah, and they buffed some magic spells.
and
Oh,
they
so they made the magic
nerfed.
people even.
They
stronger?
nerfed a lot. They
I-
nerfed my
Magic
sword.
missiles.
I honestly am thinking about starting over. Because realistically, I'm only like level 30, right? I'm not like that far into it. If I am going to make that decision, I'd rather do it now. Either that, or I could just go back to
Well,
the
if you
beginning.
get to a certain boss fight and killer, you can respec your class. So I don't know
Yep.
how much.
Right. Well, if I get,
And
is there a point in restarting your character, or can you just go back to the beginning and just like farm a lot, and then it's almost like the same thing as restarting your
You could
character
catch up
anyway?
if you farmed. You could catch up real fast to wherever you're at right now.
Because
So if you really
I
wanted
want to
to
make a
start over.
primary like spellcaster,
Yep.
Because I see all these, and not because like I'm not really liking the game, because I see all these like videos of the cool ass shit people are doing with their fucking spellcasters, and I'm like, man, I want to do that. I'm a little jealous.
Zero Comet, baby. That's all you really
Yeah.
need.
I mean, some of
I
the
just thought it
spells
was.
are incredible.
It takes a while.
I thought
Alright.
it was funny how like all the Elden Ring community was like bitching at the mages, like you're
Yeah.
ruining the game or whatever, and then they go and buff the spells. They're like,
Right, exactly. Exactly. That was awesome. So they
Yeah.
needed to do with the shards though. The shards had no range whatsoever. I hated those things. So
Yeah, my range and my guy's fireball is like such shit. Like I feel like I can throw it like 10 feet in front of me. Like here's a fireball. It does okay damage, but I don't know.
How did that go?
Here's a fireball. Huh?
Let's clip it. Clip it. Sound
Clip
clip
it. So I think that what you're saying makes a lot of sense, Jasper. Like they didn't listen to the community at all, and they just like went the opposite. There's another game that kind of did that recently too. It's called Gran Turismo 7, right? There's been a lot of controversy about this game, and I think Forza Motorsports is going to come out this year. That's why I think this is relevant conversation, right? Man, what are they doing? Because
Well, last night the servers went offline. You couldn't even play it.
Right, and you
The
can't
night
even play it
before.
offline, right? Like at all.
I think you could do like
But you
one
can.
race.
Yeah, you got one track and you've got a handful of cars that you can use, and that's it.
A
What-
Mazda, I think 626, a Ford Pinto, and
Wow.
whatever.
Well, those are like my
Yeah.
dream starting cars right there, anyway. But now, what we're talking about though is, I found out something that really blew my mind, because I was not really like caring too much about all this talk about the microtransactions and stuff. I'm like, just grind and get the cars and stuff, and then sell your cars and get new ones, kind of like I used to do in Gran Turismo. And then I found out that you can't sell your fucking cars.
Nope. Oh,
That's the easiest fix, right? If they're gonna have the cars that you have to purchase in the game based on real world value, but give you no value for the shit that you bought, that is insane.
Your insurance price might go down.
Like, okay, so like, especially with like the world the way it is right now, with everything going on and the way all the prices are skyrocketing, used car prices are going up, like trade-in values are going up, like new car prices are actually higher and stuff because of all the chip shortages and all these things. And we want to base our car prices on real world aspects, but we're not going to give the players anything also as the benefit for that as well, because at least with all of that stuff, if we actually buy a car, it's also worth more for us in real life, right? Like we can resell it higher, but you can't resell your fucking car in Gran Turismo.
That's why we need NFTs.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I'm not
that's the
asking for
push.
NFTs.
That
But-
is the push next, man.
No,
do you want some quotes from Yamauchi today?
No,
'Cause-
fuck that guy. Now, hold on. I give me a second. I do want those, Pong, but because I read them earlier and
Yeah.
he's full of shit. But I want to. We'll get to those. But also, every Gran Turismo I used to play back in the day that had that grind aspect, right? Which is something I wanted. I wanted a grind aspect. You could sell your cars. Like, how can you not like, if that's the main thing of grinding and acquiring these cars, how can you not sell them? That is
correct,
that
John.
one change could completely change the whole aspect of this game. Because if you work for something and you want to ready to move on, it's easy to trade in, move up. It's supposed to be a simulator. I've never bought a car before, and it's just like sits in my garage. It's like, oh, it's locked. I can't do anything with it now. I have to own this thing forever. And if I want to get rid of it, I can discard it. Oh wait, let's just piece of shit, get out of here. I'm done with you. Give me like a few cents on the dollar. Come on. Okay, like, get on to the quotes, Pong. I'm really curious.
And
this
yeah, the
dumbass
other
has
thing
to
I
do.
learned today too that people might not know is that the high-end vehicles, you can only buy them at certain locations, and those locations swap those cars in and out on a
Yeah, so
timer.
FOMO.
So they're not always available to push you to buy
Yep.
it when you see it. So that's another thing I learned today.
Well, Forza kind of does that with their like monthly challenges.
Kind of, but you can still buy those cars pretty much any
Yeah.
time except for the special ones, right? That they
Yeah.
kind of launch. Yeah. But this is like for the legendary ones that you're supposed to be able to buy. Like even if you had 5 million credits saved up, like if the car's not available at one of the shops, you're out of luck. You got to wait, and it's only like 4-hour windows. I heard that they're
Oh,
up,
wow.
so it's kind of crazy.
It's not like a
Yeah,
whole
it's not
month.
like-
It's a,
yeah, no, it's swapping out hour like on some kind of hour block schedule. Anyways, so for anybody who didn't hear this, of course, one of the big complaints during this whole outage was that Polyphony was not saying a damn thing. right? They were radio silent this whole time. Look, Sony's got to get their shops in order here if they're going to make this push into online game playing. As we all know, as experienced players, when you've got a online game and it goes down, most companies in 2022 are out in front of it saying, hey, we've got issues. We're going to be taking down the servers from this time. Approximate time up is going to be this time.
Yeah.
And if that changes, they are back on social media, letting everybody know what's happening, right? That's how you do it. They were basically radio silent for over 24 hours on this thing. So after they got it back up, Yamauchi came out and had some things to say about what happened. He, of course, apologized for the downtime. And then he addressed all of this, all of these issues that are people having with the credits and with earning these vehicles. And so he had this to say, and this comes from Push Square, which is a PlayStation centric site, obviously. So they had an interesting quote after this as well, but I'll get to Yamauchi first. So he said, in Gran Turismo 7, I would like to have users enjoy lots of cars and races, even without microtransactions. At the same time, the pricing of cars is an important element that conveys their value and rarity. So I don't think it's important for it to be linked with I do think it's important for it to be linked with real world prices. I want to make Gran Turismo 7 a game in which you can enjoy a variety of cars, lots of different ways, and if possible, would like to try to avoid the situation where a player must mechanically keep replaying certain events over and over again. He went on, quote, we will in time let you know the update plans for additional content, additional race events, and additional features that will constructively resolve this. It pains me that I can't explain the details regarding this at this moment, but we plan on continuing to revise Gran Turismo 7 so that as many players as possible can enjoy the game. We would really appreciate it if everyone could watch over the growth of Gran Turismo 7 from a somewhat longer term point of view. That's why I came in and said, this is the first games as a service for Sony right here. That's exactly what he's describing right there. And this BS about the rarity and the specialness of these legendary cars, and that's why he wants them tied to real world value. Bro, you're not selling NFTs, okay? You're not doing that. This is a car game. This is for people to enjoy racing in, okay? Please, I know you're a sim, but give me a break. Your fans deserve better. You were just down for almost 30 hours. You come out and you don't even give away any credits for the people that were waiting to play your game. You don't give any away a free car. This is another thing that online games do on a regular basis. When something like this happens, right? You gift your players because they spent money and real world time, which you should consider a rarity and you should give it value. So therefore you should give them something back in return for your mistakes. That's normal nowadays in 2022. Not coming out with this BS and then tell your fans, just look at it as long-term growth. Just take the long view, okay? Push Square, again, this is from Push Square. And again, PlayStation centric, obviously. And their next paragraph here, they say, frankly, it's a terrible statement. And it's such a shame to see a release so warmly received fall into those obvious traps just 2 weeks removed from its release. Gran Turismo 7 is a fantastic racing game with some of the best content in the series illustrious history, but acting like adjustments to the in-game economy are intended to convey the value and rarity of real cars is a ridiculous statement. They go on to say, sadly, mere days after launching a critically acclaimed game, Polyphony Digital will now have to work hard in order to save face and restore this release's reputation. A true unforced error. Those are strong words from Push Square. Push Square rarely criticizes Sony, especially first-party Sony stuff. So that says a lot about what's going on here, man. But crazy. Like I said, this is their first games as a service. To me, that's exactly what they're saying right now is, hey, this isn't the finished product.
Whose ideas were these? Were these actually Sony's, you think? And they're like, and he's like kind of talking on Sony and can't really say too much? Or do you think this was like purely Polyphony and like trying to come up with their own model for it? because
Think-
it's so freaking weird.
This could also be a way to like kind of test NFT, the idea of it, but not go full NFT like route.
Yeah.
Mhm.
God help them if they're going down that road.
This
all I
was
gotta say.
Exactly.
I like Splendifera says $70. This was also a $70 game.
Yep.
You know, like if you're on PS5, anyway, like
Well, that's the only place it's at right now. But seriously, oh well, PS4. But what I don't know, is it 60 on PS4?
yeah, I think that
I
they're
don't know
doing
how they do their
60
PlayStation.
Pretty sure.
on PS4 and 70 on
but-
PS5.
But still, it's freaking nuts. Like everything that we're seeing, like to me, since the launch of the GT7, it just has not gotten. It just hasn't handled itself right. We're hearing the $40 in game price for per car for the game because it's from $5 from GTA Sport or GT Sport to this, and then all this other. I've been tweeting about certain things on about this game, and I'm just like, listen, I'm not trying to sit there and just destroy it, but if they're trying to do different things with and using this game as a model because they know the history of the Gran Turismo game and just using that for their player base for them to try new things. And it's I don't know guys, this is just
Look, it's business, Psycho, and Sony and Polyphony. They can do whatever the hell they please, right? It's up to the consumer base to not buy into this crap, right? That's always going to be the facts. As it's up to us to stand up and say something, or to simply vote with
They
our
held
wallet
it
and
off
not pay.
2 weeks till after the reviews. Too,
Correct. That was on them, right? And that was purposely done. And we all
Yeah.
know that, right? That's obvious. How many reviewers that reviewed this game well have now come out and are backtracking off of their review scores, even though they can't change them because of all this stuff now, being out in the open,
Yeah.
right? So that is a problem. That is a Sony, obviously, deal. And that's their sneaky behaviors that we've seen this in the past. We know that. But again, at the end of the day, it's up to the consumer base to say something. Sony's going to always push the limits, and they're allowed to. They're a business. They can charge whatever the hell they please, and it's up to the consumer to decide if it's worth it. And we can sit here and complain about it, but until more people, just like Nintendo, until more people stand up, more fans, and don't spend the money or outcry and say, I'm not buying this game, if this is what you guys are going to do, they're going to keep trying. They're going to push the limits. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're a business at the end of the day, right? It's shitty, but it's up to the consumer to make that point that it's shitty, unfortunately, because until that's made, again, just like the $70 price point, nobody cared. Everybody said, I'm willing to pay $70 for Sony quality. Well, guess what? Sony ain't going to give up that extra $10. They don't give a shit. They're going to take it. So that's what they're going to do. I don't know. It's a tough thing, man. It's really tough.
Do you think that, like, I'm assuming Gran Turismo probably isn't their biggest franchise, so it's probably one of their lower player count franchises. Like,
yeah, it used to be big, but not anymore.
So it used to be one of the
they're
biggest
probably
franchises they had. Period.
Do you think that they're
correct.
testing out these ideas on some of their smaller community games to implement them in the future?
well, it's what it felt like.
That's what again, I joked about this being a games of service, but I think this truly was a test. Now I defer to some, again, I haven't played the game. I can only go by what I've seen, what I've heard from firsthand accounts. I defer to Fuzzy on this one because Fuzzy's put a lot of time into this game already, and when he first started playing it, he sensed that Polyphony needed more time with this game, and they kind of pushed it out the door. And Sony finally told them, "Hey, get the game out. We need this game out now. You guys are out of time. Don't worry about it. You guys can work on it as we go along." So I think maybe Sony pushed it out and then thought to themselves, "Okay, this will kind of be our test run right here. We'll see how this whole games as a service things go. We'll let Polyphony continue to work on this game, improve it, add things. We'll test out some new kind of, microtransactions. We'll see how far we can push people, what kind of whales we can pull in. Is it worth it to get prices that high, or do we need to pull them back a little bit because the cars used to be like $5 versus, you know, what you could spend now in $40. So let's play with this as they're building this game out and kind of test it for our own internal, you know, analytics and kind of see going forward what we can do and what we can't do. I think maybe at the end of the day, this is kind of an experiment, just because it was pushed out when it wasn't ready.
Well,
so
to that point too,
that
like,
goes on.
is this a good learning experience before the potential launch of Forza Motorsport? And where we were all thinking, you know, for the most part, that Forza Motorsport is going to be kind of a platform now, right? That's going to live within the Xbox ecosystem and Game Pass, and they're going to build on it over time, right? Because you're rebooting it, you're renaming it just Forza Motorsport. It's not Forza 8, right? Or and you're going and redoing the whole engine and stuff. So I'm thinking like Forza Motorsport is going to be like, okay, you're going to have this amount of cars, you're going to have this amount of tracks, and then we're going to add to that over time, right?
Well, even if Forza does something bad, like if people complain about it, Xbox is usually the company to listen. They listen with Halo. They listen with the $60, $70 price point. I mean, Xbox usually kind of listens to their community more.
It may take them a while to get it right, but they do keep adjusting until they do get it right.
Yeah.
And, then one thing you can do in Forza is you can sell your damn cars.
Yeah. Well, even whatever they do with Forza Motorsports 8, or whatever the fuck they want to call
It'll
it.
have microtransactions. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It will, but it will be more sensible. It's not going to be outrageous. You're not going to see $40 fucking cars.
Do you think they might push the envelope now because it's just like not going to be as crazy as like
I
Gran
think they've
Turismo,
learned their
so
lesson
it's
from
like-
Halo too.
No, I think that exactly, Jasper. I think they learned from what they price gouged really on Halo, and they're like, "Fuck, no one wants to pay these prices," and they know where the sweet spot, because those prices now, the things that are in the Halo store are they're priced pretty decently. They're like, all right, I could drop, you know, a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there for the stuff that they have now that was $10. You know what I mean? So they learned there. So I think Motorsports, because they had car packs. I think what car pack was like, what, $8 for maybe 5 or 6 cars or something like that.
Yeah.
So
to your point, Cycle, they've had huge success with Horizon doing it, right? So I think that they really did have a lot of experience with this through Horizon as well. And I think they'll just take a lot of what they learned out of Horizon and add that into this and make it that way. Because when you sell a pack of cars, it's much more easy on the wallet when you ask somebody for, you know, $15 or $20, but you know, you're getting 8 cars, right? So it's different. It's different.
But one thing that I hope we don't get though, because like for the success of Horizon in the past, where it's kind of like taken over this motorsport and the mind share of people. When people think Forza now, they less think motorsport, they more think Horizon, because Horizon is gained like a different audience, right? It's kind of reached out to a wider pool of players. And what I
motorsports.
What I hope is that, because in the last Forza Motorsport, I kind of felt like it was kind of take things from Horizon and be that almost like in between, like arcade and sim type racer, you know, because you had like the like slot machine shit in there and stuff like that for like cars and all these kind of things, and you kind of like started to get some of those vibes mixed in. I'm really hoping they do at least take the serious approach with motorsport, you know, and keep it classy and like refined and like simulation, you know, badass graphics and all this stuff, and then incorporate some, you know, some things they've learned over time. But I don't want like a Horizon motorsport.
No,
You know what I mean?
I don't think they will, Mav. And that's why I think my guess starting last year that eventually they turn it into just a Forza hub world and you can go sim race or you can go Horizon arcade race, I think is the ultimate goal. Because I think that's like the perfect way to do it. Like how many times it'd just be so beautiful to be in one spot, take my Ferrari off the sim and just go drive over and all of a sudden be in a more arcadey race, you know, travel in the open world as they add more places and locations. And on the motorsport side, they're adding more tracks and all that kind of stuff and just building out this huge Forza world. that to me is the ultimate, because there's been plenty of times where I've been playing Horizon or I've been playing Motorsport, and I've been like, man, I really wish I could just switch over to this other one right now with the same car. Just, just have that feeling. Just go do some arcade racing instead. That's the ultimate goal. I still think. I think it's going to be sweet if they pull it off.
Kind of doing that with Flight Sim, aren't they? With like the races, like
adding the races to Flight Sim. Yeah. And it'd be cool if they eventually Flight Sim adds a little arcadiness. I mean, I know it's not theirs. That's not how they built that franchise, but now that they're on console, it'd be kind of cool if they added some arcadey stuff in there. It'd be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, like some dog fights with F-15s or F-18 Tomcats. Like, yeah.
Bring a little Ace Combat into it with all that, with the graphics.
Right?
Oh man.
Oh my god. Missile lock, dude. Now you're getting me fucking hyped, Punk. God damn it.
When is that? When does it come into Top Gun? You said
didn't it already come out?
No, it got delayed with the movie because they're launching the movie.
Oh,
yeah.
So when the movie releases is when they're releasing that DLC. So
yeah. Yeah, I
haven't played Flight Sim in forever. So
I thought about it the other day. I was like, man, I really want to boot that up because it's sitting there. I just haven't played it, but like whenever I play it, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like I still think that's the most impressive thing I've played this generation. This Flight Sim. It's just mind blowing.
Seeing the whole world like going to your house. That's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
And the graphics and stuff, the detail on the planes, and like just like the real time, like I fly over like Kate's like hometown area in Vermont and like recognizing like landmarks and stuff that in like Vermont. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty freaking crazy. Like she can see like the street like she grew up on, like
that's why I still retweet every time I see somebody post pictures from Flight Sim.
So I flew
even
from
though
like
I haven't been playing it, it's still amazing just to see what people are doing. It's crazy.
Yeah. I flew from like Burlington, Vermont to like I think Montreal, right? And it was like sunset time, it was just like it made the whole flight. I was like, man, it's like freaking gorgeous because you got like lots of lakes around there, and you got like these little small towns and stuff, and you come up to the big city. Just like the game's incredible, dude.
It is.
I wonder if PlayStation will ever have anything like that, something that can even come close to something like that on their platform.
No,
it's not even worth investment for them. You think?
No, it's not worth the tech. I mean, again, it's all the tech that Microsoft's been developing that allows it to happen, right? So
another thing, like these grand strategy games and stuff, like we're getting.
Yep.
That's something that is like, if you're looking for like a reason, but like in the past, people are like, oh, there's no reason to get an Xbox. Besides all the amazing games we know is coming, there's like a plethora of experiences that you can't have on an Xbox ecosystem, in the Xbox platform, that you can't get anywhere else except for PC. Right? Like you can't get these things on a Nintendo. You can't get these things on a PlayStation. These like grand strategy games, some of the RTS games and stuff like that. You got like Flight Sim stuff. I mean,
I think Paradox ports their stuff to PlayStation, don't they?
Paradox?
Yeah, they do. They have they have Stellaris and stuff on PlayStation, for sure.
Crusader
Kings 3 is going over there as well. Yes, but Microsoft first party. I mean, again, the rumors are out there. Age of Empires 4 this year at some point is going to be announced and released on console. Microsoft, I think Xbox Phil wants to blur those lines between PC and console, right? More and more and more. And obviously we've heard that they do have
they have like an exclusive coming, like a 4 times like first party published game coming.
Correct.
I forget who is rumored to be behind it, but there's also
some of those
rumored Amy Hennig game from that.
Some of those Paradox games are like hard to play on console, like because like the mods are so good on PC that like I just don't even want to play the basic game.
I just talked about this last night too, with Matt when we were talking about Crusader Kings 3, because I went on my spiel about why people should try Crusader Kings 3, but how good Paradox is. But I did say, Jasper, I said the people who can play those games on PC will argue that they're not even close to what you get on console. But like for me as a console only player, Paradox especially has gotten it down to a science, and they do really well. Yeah, it takes a while to get used to it on the controller because there is so much going on, especially the grand strategy games. But once you do, it is definitely playable and enjoyable. And that's why I give praise to Paradox for what they're doing. But you're right. If you have the opportunity to play it on PC, those types of games, keyboard and mouse, can't be replaced.
Talking about like for Stellaris, like I love that game, but there's like a Star Trek mod that's only on PC, and like I can't play that game any other way now.
Right. Like Sifu's got the Matrix mod now. So yeah, the mods scene, and we talked about that last night too a little bit, Matt.
Starfield, you know.
Bill's talked about embracing console modding a lot more as far as bringing mods in. So maybe throughout this generation, we'll start seeing more of that stuff.
I hope
come over.
Dude, I hope. Age of Empires 4 comes to console and they allow mods from PC over time, because I can imagine the different RTS experiences that people are going to create with that. Now, what lines do they allow to be blurred and crossed on a console, right? Do they allow like other licensed like copycat stuff to be brought over? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because you could take like Age of Empires 4 and you could make a Star Wars RTS out of it, right? And bring that out
to Battlegrounds.
Yeah. And I'm curious, like, was that something that they would actually allow if to be brought as a mod?
Well, there's for Skyrim, there's that one that I always see where it's Thomas the Tank Engine is like a dragon like coming through as a mod. Like, is that on Xbox?
I don't see the ridiculous mods. I see more of like the like mods that kind of like, you can do this in this. You get like a house for custom furniture, stuff like that.
I think the trademark stuff mods, like Thomas the Train or a Star Wars, I think they can't bring it over to console because PC, it's like everyone has a PC,
open platform.
Yeah, you can't control it. As Xbox, it's closed. It's like, so if you bring it over, they can. I think it kind of gets a little blurry with the,
because they're actually doing something with licensed property and.
Yes,
and that people are buying the mods as well, so then like Xbox gets a cut of the sales and shit like that.
So I think that the console might not see those mods, but you'll always have them for PC. So
man, it would be amazing though. Hey, like I would embrace like them just allowing other creators to make mods off of their game and sell them as well.
Like Flight Sim. Flight Sim allows that. Yep.
Yeah. And those are the
Skyrim
prices. Those are the
Minecraft
prices
also does that too, I think.
Yep, Minecraft as well. Yep.
Yeah. But those are huge games, So
just like to see it a little bit more.
Minecraft is it like the best-selling game of all time, I think.
Yeah.
I think like technically like Tetris is.
Oh, Tetris technically, yes. You were correct, Jasper. Yep. Yes, Tetris, but Minecraft is right there. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Abacab, you were absolutely correct. Mav and I talked about that last night too, or I did. The T-Pain commercials for Crusader Kings 3 like I said, normally those types of commercials are cringy to me. Like I'm an older guy, they're just kind of cringy. They did a fantastic job. They like I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like T-Pain was allowed to be himself, and like it's just hilarious. I was laughing out loud at my job while I was watching one of them. It's just, they're fantastic marketing. I love them.
I want to marry off all my children to take over.
Dude, the religion one where he's like, oh, I can't divorce. Guess what? I'm going to create my own religion. He's like, that's allowed. That's allowed. That's allowed. That's allowed. He like checks off everything. And all of a sudden somebody starts a holy crusade against him. And he's like, oh.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I played Crusader Kings 3 on PC and holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. I took my wife and I sold her to some other Duke, and I got my kids. I sold them off, and I got all this. I'm like, come on, I need more kids. And
you could do so much in that game, man. I can't wait.
Insane.
I've never played one before, so it's gonna be a new experience for me. I'm excited to try it though.
I'm just glad it's in Game Pass, so like people like you, Mav, who have not, met maybe too much or whatever, can still try it out and just see what they're like.
That plus it's on console. Like, right now, like the main crutch for me of Age of Empires is playing it on PC, right? Like, not that it's not a good experience. I just don't like playing games on PC. You know, like I don't know why. I Idle Sloth had tweeted today. There was an update, I guess, coming from Xbox, or maybe it's already there about social media sharing.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
already out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but supposedly it's not like all you get is like a notification on your phone.
Correct.
So what's
Yeah,
the point of
It's not
having
a direct.
So pretty much what it does is that you can share it to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I believe.
Yep.
Why did they
and
take
something
away the
else.
ability for us to directly share to Twitter and then
I
come out with this workaround?
I think it's something to do with the DVR. I think it's just how all that was
Hey,
created.
Psycho, you can't complain if it's not there.
Exactly. That too.
People can't
That too.
complain if it's not
Yeah.
there.
Well, can't you like share the clip off your phone now though? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
now you
so
now
now-
because before you could only do photos, right? And you
Yeah.
couldn't do video. Now you can do video.
So how does it
from your
work?
phone.
You get like a notification on your phone, and you
Through the Xbox app.
You click on it, and here's the thing: will the clip actually be there when you click on it? Because
that is a whole different thing.
my biggest
baby
problem,
steps, Mav. Baby steps.
My biggest problems is like after recording a clip, like it ceases to exist for like 2 days. You know what I mean? And it's like, what the hell? Like, where did this clip?
I've never had a problem with DVR, the Xbox DVR, but I don't record like a lot of stuff. Like I maybe do like one recording a month. So like mine's never like full like a lot of people's that like record everything.
Oh, I'm full all the time. I'm going in and deleting all the time. I got to spend 30 minutes deleting stuff. My DVR has worked pretty well. The problem is if you want to turn on the HDR. That's the problem. If you just share it without the HDR, the clips are fine. It just doesn't have the full effect, right? So that's when you get those really dark clips that people share. So I never share with HDR, and my clips, they still look good. They're just not as impressive as they could be, but I still share them.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's just I don't know. I'm not a fan of them getting rid of the share to Twitch function straight from Xbox. Now I got to bring my phone, and I mean, I guess that's one workaround. Unless, like I said, if they're gonna come out with some kind of the HDR or not HDR, the DVR 2.0 update, and then kind of go in depth of why this is why we did it. We were trying to fix it, and then probably, and they could add it back into the function, but at the moment, but this is just me hypothetically.
I only use the Twitter share like internal Xbox thing, like for Elden Ring. That was the first time I used it. What I used to do is I would just go on the Xbox app on PC and just download my clip to my computer and then share it through Twitter that way. I don't know. That's how I used to do it, but.
Did you guys see Tom Warren's tweets on this as well? Because you remember last year, I think it was, Microsoft did purchase a third-party company that specializes in video editing.
Yes.
I remember that.
And Tom Warren said when everybody was kind of talking about this today, he said his first tweet was, "I really hope Microsoft overhauls the Xbox DVR and clip sharing soon. It's so clunky and slow right now, and one of the worst parts of the Xbox Series experience." And then he went on to say, "There are signs something is coming soon, as Microsoft has been testing web clips." And then he had quote tweeted himself talking about the mobile app is getting a new update soon that will allow you to share links to clips just like this. So he thinks that they're working on something in the background that's part of this, that's why they're doing this temporarily right now, is that they're working on something else by the sounds of what he's saying. And hopefully that company that purchased wasn't just for Windows side of things. Hopefully they'll implement some of it on the Xbox side of things as well. It'd be nice to have at least some basic editing software.
I was gonna say they just overhauled the Windows like editor thing.
Yep. It'd be so nice. It's free advertising.
I think that part, like, obviously this is a focal point for them right now, because remember we just got the Twitch integration update, right? And now we're getting this. So it seems like a lot of people had moved on from whatever tasks they were working on before, and like these things are now a focal point. And they had addressed that before in the past, where like, hey, we're gonna get to that, but right now we're working on this, you know, and that then they finished working on that. So now this is, I think, where they're all focusing on, and hopefully
Yeah.
we see some drastic improvements
Well,
from it.
Jason
instead of
Ronald was on
halfway ones.
Jason Ronald was on Iron Lords, and they brought it up last year. Remember, at the end of
Yeah.
last year, at the beginning of this year, whatever it was, and he said, "Yeah, we're kind of, you know," he said he was personally kind of disappointed in that because that was something they planned
Yeah.
to fix last year. They just didn't get to it, but he said 2022 that is one of their top priorities. So
Right. Yeah, I
So I
think
think there's-
we're probably going to see several months of updates and improvements from that. So
'Cause the thing is, the more people share, the more people hear about Xbox, the more people buy
Re-advertising.
it.
it is.
advertising.
I mean, when they designed the whole Xbox dashboard and like the community section, it was designed as
Yeah.
like a whole social network almost, right? Like a whole community. I mean, you can share clips, you can like, you know, you
Back
can
on the
comment.
Xbox One, like when it first came out, I would just like scroll through my like the community feed, just like look at stuff, and then it's gone. I was like, whatever.
Yeah. But like they never
I don't know.
did anything really with that. You know what I mean? Some people use it a lot more like than others. Like you can scroll through there and you'll see like people have like a lot of likes on something, whatever. But it's never taken off beyond like within the Xbox itself. And I feel like there's a missed opportunity from them to really bring that out to like the masses more. You know, using social media or creating another platform altogether to share with and stuff. And it was kind of strange when they like shut down Mixer. I remember thinking like they had Mixer, they could have like integrated Mixer with other stuff and made Mixer better and done something really unique and different because they had the whole social network aspect on the Xbox within the community on there. Then they had the Mixer, right? And then they have, you know, the clip sharing ability and all this stuff. And it just seemed like it made a lot of sense to me if they were to find a way to merge all those things together, right? And try to build something better and like its own unique app experience or something. But they just instead they shut down Mixer. They went backwards on the video editing, right? And then kind of the whole community aspect is just still there, but they really never went and did anything more with it ever since early Xbox One days, you know? So those are like some things like critiques, I guess I could say, like I really think they could make some improvements on. Now, that being said, they're miles above PlayStation in a lot of those categories with social aspects and sharing, and not necessarily like videos, but as far as like the community aspect within the dashboard and the system, like there's actually a living, breathing community on the Xbox that you can see, right? Within PlayStation, like it's just games and like a little crossbar thing to access stuff, right? But like, so it's not necessarily like Xbox is really bad. It's just like, you know, with something that I feel like is they're missing something special there.
I feel like everything's too
You know?
spread out because you have like the clubs is in one page and like the friends
Yeah.
tab is in another page. I think everything's just too like spread out, and it's like
Yeah, it's just you gotta like come up with like more cohesive, simplify it, you know, like. And
yeah, they used to have Game Hub, and then you can barely find that now.
Yeah. Like
I don't
it
know.
just had a chance, you know, to be something more than that instead of a bunch of separate little things everywhere. Even like the game home pages and shit. Like, you know, like they have the
Yeah.
game hubs. Like you go into
Yeah.
like each game has its own thing. But like, does anybody really utilize that stuff very much?
I just go in there to look at my achievements for the game.
right.
That's-
Yeah. I mean, sometimes depending, like there's clubs and stuff I go into depending on the game. You know, sometimes you'll see people, you know, host if it's a multiplayer game, you know, like Apex and things like that. I use the clubs and search to looking for group, those aspects of what's in Xbox social media. But other than that, I mean, they kind of they had everything nice and kind of together somewhat, and then they just like broke it all apart when they got rid of Mixer. It just went to shambles. Like they lost their focus and their vision of what they wanted to bring with Mixer and possibly give this new hybrid function, but it didn't have enough growth as, you know, YouTube gaming or Twitch and things. So they just like, all right, we're done with it. 2% growth during the
Yeah, they
pandemic.
spent billions of dollars on people to come over, and they didn't see the
And
growth they wanted.
2%, and they're like, "Yep, nope, peace, thanks for everything, bye." Pretty much how they went about it.
All right, so I want to get like I'm still confused if there's an E3 this year or not, because do you remember
Everybody
like,
is.
Yeah, do you remember like Grub and people were like saying like E3 is going to be canceled, but then like if you Google E3 2022, it's like still like there and stuff, and like the media supposedly was informed about E3 2022, but then like Keely's still doing his thing. That remember that after E3 was supposedly canceled, he announced his thing like the day after that.
G4 is doing their thing.
G4,
They're
yeah.
getting people together. Yep.
So anyway, besides all that, I guess it didn't really matter. We know Xbox is doing something supposedly in June, right? So what I have one question, and we'll end the show on this. I'll just say E3 just for the hell of it. Okay, so at Xbox's E3, I feel like there's going to be at least one coming soon game surprise that's not Forza Motorsport. I think it could be a game that we all know about. Out of all the games that we already know about that have been revealed to us, I want to know what you think is the most likely coming soon surprise at E3 this year for Xbox.
I know.
You know, Psycho? What is it?
Avowed.
Avowed? Now, when I say coming soon, I'll say like between June and June of next year, like before the next E3, right? So within a year of E3, right?
I mean, that it's then of course it's going to be avowed, and definitely motorsports, but yeah, avowed. I think so. I think now after what Fable, not until 24, 25 possibly. Initiative with the Perfect Dark. Crystal Dynamic has that, so that won't be till 24, 25. So
maybe Gears late next year,
or Gears or whatever coalition.
What about that Gears collection? There's a rumored Gears collection or other. Remember that rumored like huge Xbox franchise
Fallout
getting that
collection,
remastered treatment. We know that we don't know what it is, but there was rumor that there was going to be another franchise to get that. It could be Gears, right? What about that?
Phoenix collection?
Yeah,
the Phoenix collection. I mean, that's what fans Gears fans been been wanting, is a Phoenix collection with all the games updated all in one spot.
Gears 5 2018.
Gears 5, yes.
2018,
yeah,
2017.
I think it was 18.
It was a launch
17?
of Game Pass, wasn't it? Or
We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see Gears 6 for a while.
No, Gears 6 is not until
20.
Yeah, I just feel like
Tail end of
Gears
this.
has kind of been like down quiet, so I feel like they need to like put something out for that. That's why I'm just kind of stuck on that.
I think they'll bridge the gap with the collection, right? Maybe we'll see. So what, Jasper? Your prediction is
Something Gears.
something Gears. Okay.
Yeah.
Pong, you got one?
I don't know. First party stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it could be. Well, I mean, you could say like Microsoft published first party as well. That would include potential
Yeah.
that certain Infinity thing.
I think we see
that
compulsions this year.
compulsions. Okay.
That'd be nice.
I mean, I don't think it's going to release this year, but I think they
You think
show
it
it
could
at
be
E3,
early
and I
next
think I think it's next year, sometime summertime next year. I think that could be the summer game next year
Okay.
for sure.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that certain Affinity thing.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that we've been seeing about potentially that this thing has maybe been in development since like 2017, 18, right? I saw a tweet, and it's just rumor, speculation and stuff, but like, who knows exactly how long it's been in the works? But potential is there, Who knows, man? Yeah, we
Speaking
did
of
hear about
them,
Contraband last year.
There was also like some more Halo like BR leaks, so that we know certain Infinity's
Yeah.
making some mode for Halo, but It's not a
Yeah.
full game. It's just a mode. So
Battle Royale? You think it'll be the Battle
Yeah.
Royale?
we saw like battle royale settings like leak on a
Yeah.
a settings page in Halo. So
What about Firefight?
That's not in Infinite. So like,
yeah, I
possible.
wouldn't bet on that within a couple of years.
Okay.
That's they're so behind right now. I wouldn't bet
yeah,
on that.
Yeah, I guess Forge and stuff is more priority. But like, if you brought in a third-party company like Certain Affinity, it's like, I think it's got to be for a Battle Royale. I don't know. Because like, if you're trying to make a huge splash and you're going out there and getting third-party support for something like that, like what's going to make the biggest impact is a Battle Royale. You know?
Yeah.
So
everybody, Halo fits Battle Royale perfectly.
yeah, ODST,
Drop
man. I
in.
want to be a orbital drop shock trooper, man. Come in. I want to be Bucky in his old days as a ODST. Go in there and clean house. You know.
Maybe
Pretty
like
cool.
the legendary armor's like a Spartan shield you can pick up or something.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Get like Spartan weapons. You know, you get like energy swords around there. You get like, you know, that'd be pretty badass. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for the show tonight. Thank you all for being here. I feel like Pong just joined us. I know you've been here for like an hour. I know
It's
it's
been
been,
an hour. Yeah.
I know you've been here for like an hour. It's just breezed through like so fast, dude. This has been actually the whole 2 hours almost has been like a breeze, like so fast, guys. But hey, everybody, again, thank you all for not abandoning us, even though we've been MIA for a couple weeks. Super appreciate you all. I see lots of amazing names in the chat. You guys rock, seriously. Fifth Horseman, Soul Khan, Tony Grasso, Blue Moon, Razor, NZ, Chris Jones, C Unit. Just lots of awesome people here, guys. Abacab, General Spartan. I appreciate all you guys. But hey, I want to say thanks to our panel here as well for joining us and bearing with us the last few weeks as well. But hey, Psycho, why don't you tell everybody where they can find your awesome sauce?
Yes, sir. Just want to say thank you to everyone that came out in the chat. You guys are awesome. You make things possible. And again, thank you to Lady and Lupa, 3-Bit, and Kate, that she had to leave early.
Yeah, allergies are kicking her ass, guys. She does not feel.
Yeah,
good,
she
so.
she didn't sound too well before the show, and of course, Mav, Jasper, Pong, you know, you guys are my brothers, and my sisters are not here right now, so miss you guys, and love it. You can find me everywhere at Psychonauts8 on social media. Wednesdays Fun Pop 7:00 p.m. with Mav and Jasper, and here every Friday. And I will be on the Shop podcast with Pong Soul
Yes.
tomorrow. So
Yeah, dude.
catch me there.
Excited to see that.
Yeah.
And the realist Jasper. Where can everybody find you, sir? Destroying Elden Ring and getting criticized for being too good at it.
Yeah. You can check me out at Jasper_Gaming_ on Twitter, Jasper Gaming on YouTube. The link to everyone in the panel is down below, so check them out, sub, do all the Twitter stuff, you know, just have fun, I guess.
Right on. Splendiferous says, what the heck is Tiny Tina? Tiny Tina is a spinoff from
Tiny
Borderlands.
Tina's Wonderlands. Come on, Splendiferous. Borderlands.
It's
one of the best characters ever created.
Google Tiny Tina.
So my stepsister is like a hairstylist, hairdresser, whatever you call it, colorist. I know she has a shop, not a barber shop, but like, you know, women. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, salon. That's it. Yes. So she does like a salon, like she has a salon, and one of her clients is working on Tiny Tina's.
Oh, it's not Ashley Birch, is it?
I'll ask. I don't know.
You should
That's the
ask.
actor. Or
Yeah, that's the actress, the voice of Tiny Tina herself. But yeah, they're having a special show next week too. I already linked it in the chat for Tony Grasso, but they're doing a special on Twitch next week on the 22nd. Trisha Hirschberger, you may know her. She does that tech show. She's awesome. She is hosting it over on Twitch, and she's going to have Ashley Burke on there, Ariana Greenblatt, who is another one of the actors, and they're going to have gameplay and everything else. So anybody else excited like I am, go check that out.
We'll have to co-op.
Some people
that
find Tiny Tina annoying, but
I love Tiny Tina.
Yeah, I think it's
I,
funny.
I almost got a tattoo of her, and then I was like, tattoo of a 12-year-old girl. Nah, probably shouldn't do that.
Have y'all ever did y'all ever watch like Impractical Jokers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he got the tattoo of Jaden Smith on his thigh.
Oh God,
That's like
that's so wrong.
That's like a punishment. It's like so random, dude. It's so
Yeah.
hilarious.
Didn't like all of them end up getting tattoos of some shit they didn't want?
I don't remember. I know that that one
Probably.
of them had to get himself as like the ferret, like Murr, had to get the
Yeah.
ferret tattoo, I think. Anyway, that show kind of fell off for me, but for a few years though, that thing was special.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, appreciate. Oh, hey, Pong, I forgot.
I was like,
Wow,
Sorry.
you did. You almost did.
Sorry, I know.
That's all right. That's all right. I'm late. That's all right.
No, it's
I
okay.
deserve it.
You don't get a proper intro. At least you can get a proper outro.
Everybody knows my outro by now. Hey, no, this is a great show. Glad I could jump in. Sorry again for being late. It is what it is, but appreciate being here. Appreciate all of you brothers and Caitlin, of course. Hope you feel better, girl, because I know how that is for sure. Chat, you're all freaking amazing. Yes, we had a lot of time off. Yes, last week was really weird for me, especially. So, but thank you for coming out and supporting our shows. Anyways, we appreciate and love all of you. So thank you for being here on this Friday night. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, I haven't put out any posts. This week's been crazy, but Living Split Screen, of course, set your alarms tomorrow morning. My brother from another Steel Rain and I are back after a week off. So come join us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, live, raw, and uncut, 3+ hours. Who knows what him and I are going to talk about? We got 2 weeks of news to get into. So please stop in, tell a friend or two. I will post something. So if you follow me on Twitter, please share it out. We are on Mission 1K this year. Check out Living Split Screen tomorrow morning. And then, like Psycho said, tomorrow night, the Shop Podcast over on PTK Blam's channel. Myself, Fuzzy, PTK, and of course, Psycho, the other brother from another, is going to be there. It's going to be a fantastic show. We're going to have a blast. It's a great way to end your Saturday night. Just have us on in the background while you're playing games like a lot of people do. It's just a good, chill time over there. We will be talking all the good talk over there, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time. And then back at it next week, Tuesday, of course, Xbox Factor Podcast, Mr. Boomstick, Double Barrel Gaming is the channel. So be there, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Mav, Archimedes, myself, Mr. Joanna Dark, VJ. Look, whoever can be there is going to be there. But you're going to get some of the best Xbox talk in the realm. So be over there on Xbox Factor Podcast, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Thursday nights, PM in the PM, Pong and Mav in the PM. We had a great show last night. Go check that one out. Him and I did some really good talking. It was just kind of off the cuff, as we kind of do, but it was fun. We had a blast for a couple hours last night. So go check that out. But Thursdays, PM in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Otherwise, it is the golden age of gaming, people. Golden age. Remember it. Best time ever to be a gamer. So much coming out. Tiny Tina's next week. Crusader Kings 3 the following week. We got games
Lego
dropping
Star Wars
everywhere.
after that.
Lego Star Wars after
I forgot
that.
about that one with no co-op. no
God,
online.
So
no
no
online.
co-op, no
Fucking
co-op.
shit.
I actually wound up the last sale. I wound up buying the DC one because I knew I wasn't going to buy the Star Wars one because no co-op. So I bought the DC one with all the packs in it. So I am playing a little Lego again. It's been a lot of time.
Split screen co-op, I think, but no
split screen co-op. No online co-op.
No online.
No online. 2022. Come on.
Oh my
Telltale.
God.
Come on.
KhAos, did you hear anything about Lego Star Wars co-op?
yes, it's been
It's an MMO now.
It's-
We're all going to be able to play it.
It's
It's going to be
coming at
fantastic.
the same time as Hogwarts. Yeah.
exactly.
But anyways, get out there, play what you love what you play. Have a fantastic weekend, gamers, and I will talk to you all real soon. Love you.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And tomorrow, FSP with Key and Fuzzy will be there at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then back to hopefully another regular schedule of next week. And gonna be maybe a little mix up of scheduling. I gotta figure some things out, and I'm gonna have to get with everybody and talk about stuff and figure some things out potentially. Don't know yet, but we'll see. But hey, guys, you rock. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye bye.
Later, everybody.
Hey.